Welcome to Indie Sports Daily. This is Reggie. We're joined by Tim, Steph, and today we're going to be talking about the topic everyone's talking about. Tim, is CM Punk returning to WWE?
I have no idea, Reggie, because it's a very loud topic, right?
Yep.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay. So, CM Punk coming to WWE? What do you think?
Tim, I think it's possible. Anything is possible. The first thing I will say is, if he doesn't go back to WWE, he would be the first person to not go back to WWE. Literally everybody who's ever left WWE in a bad way has gone back. Hogan literally left and went to another company to try to put him out of business.
Yeah.
He went back.
Steve Austin.
Yep. Ultimate Warrior. When he left, he said some of the worst stuff you could ever say about the WWF. He went back.
Yeah.
Macho Man never went back, but that's mainly because he passed away. He would have at least probably signed the Legends deal and gone back for the Hall of Fame probably eventually. So I don't know if you can count him. CM Punk would probably be the only person. Jericho's left a few times and not wanted to go back.
Yeah.
Everybody goes back. Everyone. Which is why you never say never.
That's true. Never say never.
I think that the stars are aligning for Punk to go back at Survivor Series this year. I think it's definitely a possibility. Tim, what are some of the positives? What's one of the pros? One of the positives you can think of Punk going back to WWE?
The ratings are probably going to go through the roof. I mean, especially with everything that just came off of the whole AEW, the blowouts, not even just the one blowout, the multiple blowouts at AEW with backstage talent and things like that, to sit there and have to be able to do that, I mean, that's power. That's just raw, uncontrollable power. And again, with like we've talked before, we agree with everything Punk's saying. And so therefore it's just, Punk wanting to wrestle and work in a place, in an environment where shit makes sense.
Does Punk go back to stick it to AEW? Is that one of his motivating factors?
Honestly, it's none of our business. That's none of our business.
But with how public it's been, is it our business now?
No.
Does he go back as a fuck you to AEW?
He could.
If you were him, would you?
Would I? Yeah. I would go back and because I mean, again, they always say the grass is always greener on the other side, and in this particular case.
But that's all the same stuff he said to MJF in those promos. Grass isn't greener. Go back. Main event night 3 of a 9. He said so much stuff.
Well, because again, when my trainer said it the best. Personal business tells great stories.
It does. It always has.
And in this case, this is a great story. The fact that Tony Khan brought in CM Punk, and again, he was done after that pipe bomb in, what was it, 2009? 2011. He dropped the pipe bomb and boom, he disappeared for years.
Well, but he left in 14 though. So the pipe bomb happened. I know what you're talking about. Pipe bomb happened leading into Money in the Bank, when he was going to be leaving WWE with the WWE title if he beat John Cena at Money in the Bank in Chicago.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to talk a lot about the
Chicago.
I'm pretty sure they call that the
Chicago,
the Windy City.
But no, he beat Cena and left with the WWE title, but then he came back a month or two down the road.
Mm-hmm.
What made him leave was in 2014, the night after the Royal Rumble in 2014, when he was banged up, sick, staph infections, all that stuff, just sick, felt like he was dying, couldn't get a break. I mean, in the end, that's why he left. But no, he disappeared.
Yeah.
The next time we saw him was in January. We heard from him around this time, November of 2014, when he did the Colt Cabana podcast, laying it all out there. I don't even think he was. I think he was justified in most of the stuff he even said. He was in the middle of a lawsuit with the company for a while. The doctor and WWE sued him for defamation, and just his career seemed to be over. And then entered 2021.
And the birth of AEW.
Yes. And he even said he was done, but AEW seemed like the right company. But we're not talking about AEW, we're talking WWE. I think
we're not even talking WWE. We're talking the pros and cons of CM Punk
ratings for sure
coming back to Okay, so I guess we are talking WWE. You're right.
Do they reference if he comes back? Do they reference the AEW stuff, or do they leave that alone? Because they have their own story with him in WWE that they can tell. They don't even have to touch AEW, which in the end, it's a very similar story. Below a fallout with both companies' management.
Right.
He did not threaten to kill Vince McMahon and Triple H like he apparently did with Tony Khan. But it never once did Vince McMahon think his life was in danger with CM Punk. I think, honestly, anybody who has watched CM Punk's UFC fights would verify that your life is probably not going to be in danger.
Unless
unless you're Tony Khan.
Yeah.
But do they reference the AEW stuff? Do they leave alone and tell their own story with the fallout and the mending of the fences? Or do they leave both stories alone and just go off to the races with them?
Ultimately, the right way to go with that, in my opinion, would be to go off at the races.
Now, what's the left way to go with that?
I mean,
yeah,
you literally have a three-way street here.
I think
you could go with the left, and you could really WWE could spin the story and really try to stick it to AEW, put them out of business, and could really, I mean, and maybe not put them out of business, because ultimately
they don't do that.
Exactly. That's the way the WWE.
I think it's very similar to the story they tell with Cody, other than the winning the championship, because Punk had the longest reign in modern history, which they don't reference with Roman Reigns. I think they tell a similar story like they did with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, where it's referenced. They bring it up. They don't mention it by name, but they refer to it. It's one of those things. If you know, you know.
Exactly.
Seth told Cody, you think you can leave here and go do everything you did and start a competition and just be welcome back? I don't even want you here. It would be a very similar thing. And also they could tell a similar story that they did when he went to AEW with Eddie Kingston. Nobody in the back wants you here. I'm just the one. I'm the one with the balls to say it to your face.
Yeah.
I think that would be the story that they tell, because the ratings definitely would skyrocket. If anything, there's a generation of WWE fans that never saw Punk's WWE career.
I'm one of those.
We're almost 10 years removed from it.
I
saw the last 2 years.
I never did.
You missed most of it.
I missed the majority, if not all of it.
I missed the rise of it and the run.
I did
see the last 2-3 years of it.
I think I saw the start of his career in ECW.
Okay. Yeah.
Right around I think it was like 2008, 2009, back when they were the three brands.
If you look at it as him coming into the company in 08, 09, and he was done at 14, a very short career that he did a lot in.
He did.
The ratings, because of the generation of fans that never saw him in WWE. You got the AEW fans that want to see what they're going to talk about.
Yep.
You got the WWE fans that never thought he'd come back and they want to see if it's real.
Yep.
There's that outlying, what's he going to say factor.
Yes. Not even what's he going to do. It's what is he going to say.
And who's it going to be too?
Yeah. Who's it going to be?
Imagine that press conference.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
You know what matters more than the ratings? The money.
The money.
Think of the money. They're already setting records.
Yeah.
The money that
they just set a record at Fastlane here in Indianapolis. WWE did, yeah.
There's no denying the WrestleNomics numbers and facts are out there. The pay-per-views that he was on in AEW were the highest drawing. All of the $1 million gates they had were with him on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the gates are going to get bigger with WWE Punk's on those shows.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says no to getting more money, Tim.
Nope.
Especially not Vince McMahon or TKO or UFC or WWE. If there's more money to be made,
we're gonna make it.
Take it.
Yep.
They'll take it.
I like this next one though.
The new matches.
Yes.
We've all seen him against. What's the last time Punk was there and wrestled? The last time Punk was there, Rollins and Reigns were the Shield.
Right.
That's not the same Rollins and Reigns you have now.
Seth freaking Rollins.
Last time he wrestled AJ Styles was on the Indies in like 04.
Ooh.
Like the matchups, man.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk Ricochet. CM Punk Styles, CM Punk Rollins, this Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
CM Punk Damian Priest, CM Punk Finn Balor. The people that are there now that he could work that we haven't seen him wrestle before. So even though he's wrestling them before, they're completely different wrestlers and people now.
Everybody's changed.
I mean,
everybody's evolved.
God. Like, think about the Monday Night Messiah, the Visionary, Seth Rollins versus the Second City Saint, CM Punk. Like, come on, the matches, just the matches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then revisiting wrestlers that he's already wrestled, but they've evolved, like I just talked about.
Like we just touched on that.
They don't reuse real glass there.
What?
Well, you don't have to damage your body with real glass. It's gimmicked.
I don't think the WWE uses glass at all.
Exactly. They avoid that whole situation now. That's a whole backstage brawl. It's not going to happen because there's no glass.
And hopefully, because we're preventing that backstage brawl, hopefully the younger talent.
Bring back Raw Underground.
Oh, here's
a very important point, though. With everything they're building with Roman Reigns and Gunther, with the longest reigning championship runs of all time, going into WrestleMania season with Cody trying to finish the story, is bringing CM Punk back overshadow any of that? Everybody's going to be talking about Punk.
Oh man, does it?
No one's talking about Roman's reign. No one's talking about Gunther's reign. No one's talking about Cody finishing the story. Punk's back.
Man, if anything,
then do you have another problem with? We don't want to see Cody finish the story now. We want Punk to face Reigns.
No, if anything, it brings everything up to a whole new level. To the fact that it's one of those things where it's like, this is our one shot and we have to build up around it to make it all matter.
I don't think there will be as much drama. I don't think Punk would politic as much as people think he would. If you go back and listen to Dax Harwood's podcast, after Punk got suspended in 2022, Dax from FTR started a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their first episode was CM Punk and what it's really like with him backstage.
What did he say?
Punk never even wanted the AEW title. He didn't want it. Because for one, he didn't need it. He thought there was other people that needed it. He was there to wrestle. But he also understood why they were putting it on him.
Right.
I don't think Punk would lobby for the WWE title. For one, he's had it.
Yeah.
He's had the longest reign.
Yeah.
He doesn't need it. So I don't think it may be as much drama and politicking as people would think, but I don't know Punk, so maybe.
If anything, I mean, it could be a fun and interesting way to maybe knock down Gunther. Maybe Cody continues to go for Roman to break the longest streak.
Here's an idea.
Or
Punk beats Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Whatever the next pay-per-view they have in Chicago is, Cena beats Punk for that championship in Chicago to become the longest reigning champion, the most reigns in company history.
You mean a
In
17
Chicago.
time
In Chicago
over Punk to become the 17-time world heavyweight champion.
Think about the money. Think about the money that show would draw if you've got world heavyweight champion CM Punk defending against John Cena
in Chicago.
And Cena says if he wins the 17th championship, he's going to retire.
I mean, if
you
that's
run the same story.
Yeah.
But you flip it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
It'll never happen. They'll never do that. No. But that'd be fun.
I feel like that could be. Is this a spoiler?
That'd be fun. No. I don't think there will be as much drama, but I do think that there are still some people with bad feelings towards Punk in the company and in the locker room. And I think that could be a detractor from the whole thing. Is the
in what way?
Dude, the way he left wasn't good. He literally walked out of Monday Night Raw and said, "I'm going home. I'm done." And we've seen that.
Yeah.
You don't do that. It's not professional, and the wrestling company is built on respect and honor. And guys will take that personally. Are you going to tell me that if Dex walks out of WCWO at the start of a show, Pogo's not going to take that personally?
No, there'd be a lot of hurt feelings. Yeah. There'd be a lot of hurt feelings.
Exactly. And the way Punk left wasn't professional. Now, the way he got fired was more unprofessional.
Right.
But I feel like there's a lot of mending fences or fences that they mended within the company and in that locker room. And Punk would have to work hard to get a lot of guys respect and trust.
Well, and so this is where I want to, this is where, again, I would hope that over the years, those fences have been mended.
Maybe.
I mean, because, again, we're wrestling, from what I've learned over my 2-3 years that I have been in this, we are a big family. Yes, do we have our cliques? We have our aunts and uncles who we love, who we hate. We have people who we don't want to be on the same shows with and everything like that. But at the end of the day, it's all just wrestling, and we're all there to put on entertainment. But anyway, so I would hope that going into this, if this is what is to happen in Chicago at Survivor Series, by the time he gets back, everybody welcomes him back with open arms.
I do know AJ Styles has beef with him because AJ has a Twitch channel, and he did a Q&A while he was gaming one night and said he has no desire to work with Punk whatsoever because he doesn't respect him. There's got to remember, a lot of the guys in WWE came from the Indies and worked with Punk on the Indies.
Well,
there's a lot more indie guys in WWE than there were 9 years ago as well.
That's true.
And so there is going to be a lot of bad blood with a lot of those guys, but
well, and even then, for him, and again, not to knock AJ, but for AJ to be able to come out and say that,
he's straightforward.
It's exactly. He's not doing anything shady about it. You know what I'm saying? I would still hope that if the two of them were to meet each other in the back, it'd be a simple handshake.
What do we always tell guys at WCWO? You don't have to like them, just got to work with them.
Exactly. And again, if they're not working together, why do you need to be together?
Honestly, if they were to sign Punk and bring him back, that would be Vince and Triple H's way of saying, if I can sign him and work with him, you can too.
Exactly.
Justin LeBar had a really good point on Busted Open this morning.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I just hope WWE doesn't do what WWE tends to do and have any sort of situation where somebody has a mystery partner. Because if Punk isn't coming back and there's a mystery partner or mystery opponent, that building's going to riot if Punk's not on the show.
Pretty much.
And they have a habit of doing that. Like, let's say the War Games match he brought up, for example. Drew McIntyre sides with the Judgment Day because they've been teasing it. Okay, now Cody's team needs a partner. Who's it going to be? Oh, it's Otis. It's Royal Rumble 2014. It's Royal Rumble.
Otis.
Dude, it's Royal Rumble 2014 all over again. WrestleMania 30, the Royal Rumble before that. Everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble and go on to Mania. Number 30 comes. Or number 28 comes, not Bryan. 29, not Bryan. Number 30, it's going to be Bryan. It's going to be Bryan. It was Rey Mysterio. They booed him out of the building, which led to him leaving the company. Because why am I going to be here if the fans hate me this much?
Yeah.
So if Punk isn't coming back, avoid the mystery thing.
Yep.
Because it's automatically going to be CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk all night long. And then when it's not, that person is fucked. Other question about Punk? Is he injury prone now?
I was just about to ask you the same thing.
Stay healthy. He could stay healthy wrestling the light AEW schedule.
Right.
Can he stay healthy with the heavy WWE schedule? And does he work the heavy WWE schedule, or does he sign like an Edge style deal or a Brock style deal or a Roman style deal where it's very limited dates, but he's there?
That's gonna be the big question. Honestly, I'd like to see him if he could do it. I'd like to see him work a full schedule.
You gotta have to do a full schedule.
I mean, again, the countless endless matches, just to sit there and just to get my daily dose of Punk every week. Who's he going to fight this week? Is he winning? Is he losing? Yeah. It doesn't even necessarily have to be, in a storyline. Just my daily dose of Punk.
But has he damaged his stock too much after all the AEW stuff?
No.
Is his reputation, legacy, and stock lower?
It's probably lower. I mean, again, when you could sit there and you could say that somebody like AJ Styles has beef with Punk, it's safe to say that there's a large, group of people who have beef with CM Punk. But even still, wrestling in and of itself has that magic power that guess what you're still gonna do? You're still gonna watch. Now, unless you're stupid petty to the point that the following contest, when we get back for the break, CM Punk versus da-da-da-da-da. Nope. Click.
Yeah.
But then guess what?
There are fans that will do that, Tim. Some fans are going to do that.
That's true. Yeah. I'm not one, but
when it comes down to it,
anyway.
When it comes down to it, if he doesn't return at Survivor Series in a couple weeks, there's still the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
There's still the Monday after WrestleMania. So just if he doesn't return at Survivor Series does not mean he's not coming back. Because what comes out around the same time of WrestleMania season? WWE 2K. How many wrestlers have returned to the company for the video game deal? Goldberg, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man was in there, and he came back to the company with a Legends deal for it. Like, that's happened. Sting.
Just so he can be on the video?
No, that's how they bring them back into the company, is what I'm saying. Is that think of the video game sales.
Interesting. That's real. That's a real interesting way of putting that.
Think about it. I'm not saying that's going to happen. That is a possibility.
Like, hey, just sign me off for the video game deal.
When they announced Sting, that first commercial you saw of Sting in WWE 2K, you're like,
I'm buying that game.
They got Sting now?
I'm buying that game.
So, in the end, the question is, do you care if Punk goes back to WWE? If he shows back up, are you gonna care? And do you want to see it? And will you care?
Yeah, I do care because I mean, again, I as a fan getting back into it, I would like to continue to watch CM Punk wrestle. I think he could bring a lot of stock back to WWE. The matchups ultimately in this situation, yes, the pros outweigh the cons. Punk coming back to the WWE, definitely a good choice.
I agree. We'll
All
see
right.
What happens to Survivor Series.
We'll see you then, or sooner. Who knows?